It's the 30th day of June, just a day shy of the July 1st deadline set by the Greater Accra Regional Minister for those who sell onions here in Agbogbloshie, cattle rearers and even scrap dealers to pack out and go to Ajen, Kotoku. The question is, what is the current status of all of these people? Some of them have carted off their goods, the pellets and everything. Others are yet to move. We actually speak to them today to find out whether they are going to comply by the end of the day with the deadline set for tomorrow. We start the engagement with one of the onion sellers who joins me for a conversation. Good afternoon.
Fine afternoon.
Thank you for joining us for the conversation. Right now, no, I say movement, you know, I started at that. One casano, your friend saying that one year man, 1 year they accorded that.
Michelle via for now, the
Mohammed Nuhu.
Yeah.
What are they were having?
I think 12 years.
12 years.
Yeah. And this is on our kind of Masasa any union for now. Almost all the union sellers we are going to comply to the kind into try some pallets any we are Pataya sin na they are also and also by the end of this day there and also ever down none na ya move up na
1 year man wait me the na akọ Ajen
Minyama no yedin na akọ. It was started from yesterday.
I say one problem with Siso and this space no and some what can you say?
Osha Jenny Jumano Jenny Ankasa a space because all the time Tonya Manufacturing Niger a bebane good condition. Sometimes you know a bar heats a bemu and you have much space to open it. Now from Bono. Yeah, and yes, a banner space in you are. No, say best start up pro. Fitika no mukura no say pro. Inti anu na dey running ngofo bebre into depth.
It is say anu na hamo e hono mo no space no so mama.
Space no so ya. O hwe mate say you say we are almost 1,000 or you brew 1,000 now almost patch no. You doors. Spaces near say nyama obia nye bi no eno no kwa na e pa no cho na enyaba de o kan na ye ko eno mo ye ho bibia o ye ne djuma ye ba ye pe more space eno na yesre minister ne benefit na
ena ya tin so say oboma sika bi 300,000 Ghana cedis ye de ma jene for no apart from omo boton na ntwi na asefo ena yesi obia mo ye be 1,000 nti obia benya 2 to 3,000 wanya wo de
oh media manya media ba I'm very sure menya media but I'm very sure say ansana bibia be no scan be free committees our minister the action same no to our leaderships and from them then ever descended to your grounds no until the air pan no say space no on my biom on my more space so that onions no you bet me bi no no na yesre
nti ne be twatu no den biem na obetimi aka yen fa na say nka Henry Court minister no wa ha edru maybe pe o kan say modern alcohol spiritualist ho am pese mu kuno sa ne mani na bae nti friction bia ni ho ntawa bia ni mo jenefo no ene regional minister ni mo na edru maybe o se mu pese mu kuno
no yeso yete sa say yete sa say yesi yemu ebi mo say o mekuno ba we pepe for ono onim is with Muslims enye mate say ye call them no cry say he's partially a Muslim so ono himself we will not do that yeah to me yes I am fan am do bias tension na rise here no and dey nkasa bebre ba ye no ba o hwe ya comply to the all patch or person enye no ye person soldiers mba be gidi bia ye no omo no untimi fa aban oh they be untimi fa aban no we aban there wa onim omo na omo hwe yen so enti enti na ansa na ombeba no obehu say ya ejuma no kra ansa na ombeba no enti ye da omo ni na ase for the wire man na
you know, yeah, that's the one. So that is Nuhu, one of those selling onions here. Just to summarize what he's been telling us, some of the chief problems they are facing have to do with space. So in Ajen Kotoku, they don't have enough space, according to what Nuhu tells me. And he says in the onion business trade, one of the things you need the most is space, because you would have the onions, you would need space for the onions to be aired out properly, without which they would soon start getting rotten, both in the trucks they are conveyed in and when they arrive at this point. And so that is one of their chief concerns. I also asked him about the bit about money that has been distributed not only to the cattle rearers and the scrap dealers, but even more to the onion sellers, about 300,000 Ghana cedis, which would imply that if the details we've got, that they are about 1,000, is correct, then they would be getting between 2,000 and 3,000 Ghana cedis. According to Nuhu, they have not got any sum of money yet, but they are waiting on the appropriate committee to do the sharing of the money. I also asked him whether the threats that had been issued to the regional minister, as had been, captured in many media outlets, was true. And according to him, he said when temperatures rose, some people may have made some of those threats, but that for them, they are Muslim, they don't deal in any such things, and that they are complying with the order to avert any encounter or clashes with the military, for example. So they are in compliance with the order. They have moved their sacks of onions. They have moved, a lot of them have moved their pallets, and they are trying to comply so that by tomorrow they would not be here in compliance with what the Greater Accra Regional Minister has said. So it's not only the onion sellers who have been affected. Those who sell in this community or in this area have also been affected, selling sachet water, tea. A number of them are complaining bitterly. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
What's your friend?
Your friend Rakia.
Rakia, then out on
No provision store.
And as I say, Abba say, some free hano. What didn't you say?
Every day, your crowd say, I said, Jenny, I see Jenny for no quiet. I ton drinks and in Yaman say, I'm so bad. Say, I'm so baby, my name is Jenny now, Conan, so continue because that's been to the fiesta. Yes, been to the face, almost no more be my
number business, no moon to mean to us or her. Say, Agbogbloshie household.
Debbie, intimate to us on the crown.
It's on for some 12 more, Ajen Kotoku.
Debbie, Caswell, Major Kotoku space, they say enough. Ya teacher chamo bia, it is space no. 80% to more Caswell no moya. It's on share bibi my yes, young corn because intimate to the fiesta.
What's it on sharing you be mama?
And
a regional minister.
Some minister, no, ye be my doy and a young bibi my. What pama ye, mouth for John a fruit, doy and a man, or share ye bibi my doy and a yo cry. Our pammy and obeda handman, I don't know, baby, or share ye bibi.
Now, what you say, or patch say, or per se Accra. But I say, on my time, maybe end of this year, cry, my cry, fine. But I say, your mom, and you're pushing enough in red indoors.
A dank now your barber 2 cry amount 3 months. When you book a pill crop, or about 3 months. But I say, my 7 weeks, says I'm making up a mini 5 million fatted. What container they see honor and one container not to away, cast 5 million. As an or the apple, baby, I mean, yeah, baby, for me, say dominance in a muco, say, I don't call me, I don't know, you walk at it. And any young Miss Capua, Fita Humatia, me jam, me back, Regina, Mindidi, so me, yeah, sorry, yes.
It's the almost Jane or more almost and Jason and I say for the Yatisika crack, I'm almost a young guy, it's a monster, no more Yamamusika.
Miss, let me to me pattern yet 4 million. Pattern with a honey, want to do your boys, but I'm 4 million. If I promote to Santa, my mom would to me. and Omuji. Me power much of me could to power much of the step. Omuya Nami, and I'm more 2 million, and I'm more.
A general prior to amount 4 million, 3 million, 4 million, 3 million. It's all compensated.
Then I'm over chair regional minister.
Why are you and us but one bomody? I can't bomody one. Yes, buying back.
3,000.
On Shamuma. Wow,
so that is, these are two of those who also sell right here, Rakia and Ajia Samira. And they are also saying that, well, it shouldn't just be the onion sellers and others who ply their business here that should be taken care of. But they too, because they've virtually been here for a very long time together with the onion sellers, this is where they get their daily bread. And if they are being moved, some provision should have been made for them as well. They are saying, for example, if you look right behind me, that container right there, basically, they are saying that is for one of them, Hajia Samira, and she says it's going to cost her about 500 Ghana cedis to convey it to the next point. And so they also want some form of compensation so that they can move seamlessly to Ajen Kotoku and its environs. In fact, they don't know where exactly they are going because there's no spot for them, but they want some money to also move. That is their concern and that is their disappointment. Else, according to them, their daily bread would have been taken from them. Like you can see right behind me. This is the mosque where onion sellers, cattle rearers, all of those here used to pray. It's being taken apart, the roofing, wooden parts, whatever they can take away is being taken away. Eventually, this structure will be knocked down, but they're trying to salvage as much as possible because as they move to Ajen Kotoku, they are going to have to erect another mosque. So even the religious aspect of life here has been affected, but they are complying and saying that they are going to do this so that as they transition to Ajen Kotoku, they can actually have or create another structure in which they can pray. We've also found ourselves here at the central mosque in the community, and we're going to engage Mohammed Abu Bakr, who actually is the president, the chairman of the cattle herders and rearers. And he has quite a story to tell. Mohammed, thank you for joining the conversation.
Thank you so much.
Great.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this entire move to have you leave this place for Ajen Kotoku?
Well, we are committed to the project that the regional minister has undertaken. We all want development, but the issue is that we've not been dealt fairly with. Okay, we've not been engaged in this whole process. We started hearing in the media that the onion market is about to be relocated, but we weren't told that we were involved. Just about, say, from 19th, they said there was a letter of this month. There was this letter they brought to us inviting us to a meeting, and then we attended the said meeting. And then all they said at the meeting was that this is the information that they had for us and that we are relocating on the 1st of July. We said, how? And they wanted to even ask questions. They didn't give us an opportunity to even ask a question there. So this whole thing...
Which specific meeting was this?
This meeting, you said specific meeting, the location?
I mean, what sort of setting was it? Was it with the regional minister?
No, the regional minister was not there. Right. But in the letter they said the regional minister and then the municipal assembly. That's what they had indicated.
All right.
And it was just an invitation to that meeting. So we went to the meeting and then they said that is the information they had for us. So they weren't going to give us any opportunity to speak. And then again, they invited us again to another meeting. So we thought, oh, this is another opportunity for us to be able to. We went and then they said the 1st July, they're on their feet and that they are not going back on the 1st July and we are leaving on the 1st of July.
Okay, so just for clarity, so it means all this while they had been speaking to the onion sellers and you only got wind of the fact that you had to move on the 19th of June.
Exactly. So it's only at that particular time that we realized that we were involved. So we've used all the avenues that we could to even engage them on the research. Say, look, they should give us time. I mean, we are dealing with livestock. And even when you are talking about livestock, it's not as onion. For onion, they are in bags. You can just convey them into a truck and all that. We have cattle. We raise some there. We fattened cattle there. And they are for the Eid. We are to sell them during the Eid festivities. And now these cattle, once you convey them to another place, that means you are going to dispose them off. They are going to be slaughtered or something. But if you don't do that and you are sending them to a different location, you will not get them the way, or all the gains you've gained, you lose. fattened cattle, they cannot even survive. Even if you send them to another area out of the city where you give them the cassava peels and what have you, they will not survive there. So you see all these strains, and we've gone through a lot. We've tried, we've used various avenues for this story to be heard. We went to the National Chief Imam's office, and then we laid these grievances. We said, look, we are committed to living. The land is not for us. We cannot make any legitimate claim to it. But give us the opportunity to dispose of our cattle during the Eid. And the Eid is just how many days away? It's from 20th. 20th of next month is the Eid. And the onion market, that is, look at the structures they have. They have left. And the focus was on them. We had just only 10 days. So you see, for the sake of natural justice, they should just hear us. We are Ghanaians.
So in other words, your story has not been heard?
At all. Not at all. And even at the said meetings, we were not given opportunities to even express our views. So the engagement that would have gone on, we want to move you, and this is the plan, and they should have engaged us together with the onion sellers. They didn't do that. So all along, we're sitting behind thinking it was the onion sellers, just to be told that we are involved.
So this was a sort of surprise.
Surprise! And you see, what we deal with is even more delicate. You have close to 5,000 cattle over there. And how are you going to move this cattle? Where are you moving them to?
So let me ask you, what is the plan now? Are you going to comply? By tomorrow, you should be out of there. Are you going to comply?
We are confused, actually. We are confused, actually. We are confused. And we're still pleading with authorities. I just spoke to the MP, and I told him, look, we are committed to living. And then he said, yeah, okay, if the good faith is there. I said, no, we'll leave. We'll leave once the Eid, because the Eid will give us opportunity to dispose of the fattened cattle, and then those that we have, the lean ones and what have you, we can relocate those.
So it's impossible practically for you to move the fattened cattle.
Exactly.
About how many are they?
The fattened cattle, the fattened cattle there, you will talk about around 3,000 plus thereabouts, who are well fattened, that you cannot just convey to a place, because once you are conveying them, then it means they are ready for the market. And that market is not yet ready.
So it means that technically, if you are forced to move those 3,000, it would mean you could run at a loss because all of them could perish.
We'll be losing our capital completely. And the place they are relocating us to will not make any sense, because what would you go there to do if you don't have capital? You lose the capital. And that is, you see, that's one thing about livestock. Very delicate. So once you move them, they go through that strain with how they've been fattening and all that. They are not able to take those strains anymore. Once you sell it, you are going to slaughter it or something. Okay, but you will not convey it and then bring it back to the crowd.
So what is the push now? Are you going to push for, the time to be extended for you? Because the regional minister has made it clear that it's tomorrow, and that is that.
Yes.
All of you should have vacated the place. So what are you going to do? You are saying that the Eid, the big one is coming on the 20th.
Yeah, on the 20th.
So what you are calling for is for them to be patient with you till that time.
Look, you see, the issue is the regional minister is a human being. Okay, the power that he has today, okay, the state, and the welfare of the individual Ghanaian is so important to the state. So that is what the state is championing, the development you are talking about. If you put up structures and there are no human beings, what is the essence of the development you are seeking? So at the end of the day, look, we are pleading, and this is an avenue I've gotten. This is an opportunity. I want you to get to him. We've sought this opportunity, and we are glad you've given us the opportunity. We want him to get the message. We are pleading. We are not saying we are not living. We have no authority. So we are pleading with the minister. He should just give us that opportunity to be able to maintain our capital and then move out of the place.
So your plea is to be kept, for you to be allowed to be there till at least the 20th?
The Salah, then we just dispose. We just dispose them
in the interim, if that is not granted, what are you going to do? Because by tomorrow, so far, the directive is that by tomorrow you should be out of there. So what is going to happen?
Yeah, what will happen is that there will be inconvenience in our communities. Because I will have to
send... When you say inconvenience, what do you mean?
Yeah, we'll be sending the cattle into our homes.
Into your home?
Into our homes. And we'll be bringing some here. We've decided to bring some here.
To the mosque?
To the mosque, yeah. Because there is space here. Because they want the land, so we just move the cattle and bring them in here.
Is there an agreement for you to be able to bring them?
But what do we do? What are we going to do with the cattle? Because we have thousands of cattle. What are you going to do with them? So you just we send them to our communities. In the night, we just drive them into the communities And then wherever you find, if you can guard yours for some time, then you just do that.
So that's what you mean by inconvenience. It means that you'll be forced in the surrounding areas to push your cattle there.
Exactly.
So what that also tells me is that the cattle, the cows still are where they are. The cattle is still exactly where they are.
Exactly.
You've not moved even one of them.
Look, we have, as we speak, look, the minister and the president of Ghana, the president of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and then the vice president, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Look, we are the ordinary people of Ghana. When the constitution was talking about we the people of Ghana, who are the people of Ghana? It is we the ordinary people. As feeble as we are, we the weak, we've struggled. It's hustling. We've hustled. We've built some small capital. And we did that on state land. And now you are taking the land. The state is taking the land. And now we are being relocated to a different place. They should help us protect that livelihood. That capital, they should just help us by giving us just these few days. From now to 20th, 21st. The land has been there for years. This will not create any convenience, and I guarantee that we are living. Our structures are not permanent structures. They are just wooden structures that we ourselves can dismantle.
Right.
So they should give us this opportunity. We just want to maintain our capital. Livestock, they are delicate.
Right.
You cannot deal with them like other stuffs.
Let's maybe to wrap the conversation, let's talk about money. The onion sellers have been given some money. It's not been distributed to them yet.
Yeah.
At least for you, the cattle herders as well.
Yeah.
About 100,000 has been allocated to you. What is the plan? I know you are here partly to negotiate certain things and find out how the distribution will go. What can you share with us so far? Yeah,
for the money, as we hear in the media, and even when we went to Ajin Kotuko, the minister announced that some 100,000 has been allocated to us. But as we speak now, there's a list that is circulated. I signed as the leader. So I signed for our amount. And what has been stated there, the amounts I see there may not be what, but the issue is that...
So tell us, what amount do you see?
What I see there, I did not specifically, but so we have to wait until the money is handed over to us.
How much did you see?
I cannot state for now, because I don't know what...
But you saw something.
Yeah, it could mean anything. You say it could mean anything. So at the end of the day, I want to get hold of the money physically. And once I get hold of the money, and whatever it is, I'll lay that information to you.
So right now you don't know how much
because
exactly is involved, and then to even know how many are you, the cattle herders? How many?
Yeah, we are many. We are many.
Because if the cattle,
we are many. And you know
amounts to 5,000,
and
then
you know
of course
one thing about there are lots of people in town that you see they do some other jobs and all that, and this is where they store their cash. Okay, so you have a kraal and you have about say 4 or 5 people owning the cattle in that kraal alone. A lot of people. So you see, we are many. There are lots of people involved in this whole thing. So I think essentially the issue is about we being heard. They should give us that time. We should dispose of our cattle and then we leave. That is the problem we have now.
Right.
That's our grievance.
Right.
Yeah.
Mohammed, well, thank you very much for engaging us.
I'm grateful.
And your story will be told.
I'm grateful.
Your story will be
told. I hope so.
Great.
I hope so.
Thank you so much for engaging.
I'm grateful. Thank you so much.
Now, what you see to my left is just one kraal, if you like, belonging to just one person. And when you cast your eyes farther down there, you will see quite a number of herds of cattle. Now, this is just one of 5. So there are 4 similar structures, for cattle dotted all along this stretch, going all the way to the other end of the Kwale. And that is the real picture. The cattle herders are saying it's practically impossible for them to move all of this cattle by tomorrow. That is basically what they are saying, and they are asking for the time to be extended for them so that come the Eid, the big Eid, they can actually sell off their cattle and then they can actually move. Apart from that, I mean, if that is not the case, then they are saying that they are going to suffer a lot because those fattened cattle amount in their thousands, about 3,000 of them, and they can't move. So right here from the central mosque in Agbogbloshie, you've heard it from the horse's own mouth. Mohammed Abu Bakr is the chairperson of the cattle herders and rearers, and they are sharing their story. They are saying, first of all, that their story has not been told, and this is the story that they've actually shared with us. The regional minister, I know, will be watching this, and leadership of this country. Where do we go from here? Well, only time will tell. From right here in Agbogbloshie, Benjamin Akakpo reporting for JoyNews.
Benjamin Akakpo was inside Agbogbloshie yesterday telling the story this morning. So what's the situation? Where are they being relocated to? Benjamin is joining us live from Agin Kotoku. That's the new destination for those who are relocating from Agbogbloshie. Ben, what can you tell us this morning? All right, I'm afraid we have to connect in, we have to do the connection after a while because Ben cannot hear me apparently, or we cannot hear Benjamin Akakpo, but we'll be taking you to Agin Kotoku. That's where Benjamin Akakpo is going to be reporting. We know that onion sellers, for instance, have been relocated to Agin Kotoku. We heard those who rear cattle complaining about the fact that they need a little more time to get ready to relocate. But we also understand that there's destruction of those structures in Agbogbloshie. That's going on this morning. Benjamin Akakpo is catching up with those who have done the relocation and trying to check the situation in Agin Kotoku. We'll bring you that angle of that story in a little while. So stay with us here on the M Show.